Hey guys, so it's and girls, it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's streaming Sunday again for the HTML Toronto group. Um, to everybody on the stream, I do see at least one or two people on there at the moment. Welcome, you guys. Always good to see either new faces and returning faces on that. So broadcast it out next week. We'll be doing the same thing. Obviously, the more people in there, the merrier, because we got the chat, we can interact, we can do all kinds of things. So broadcast that out there. And if you're watching this afterwards on YouTube, again, take a look. We stream every Sunday at 8 o'clock. So join the conversation, come in, play around, do some things. Who knows, in the future we might be doing giveaways on the stream as well, depending upon the interaction level and how much response we can get. So it's always good to share that out and get more people on here. So that being said, welcome. This is May the 5th. Of 2013, a bunch of things to talk about. Obviously today we've got a bunch of things, including the competition that we're doing for this May, the reward back to you guys for making it such an awesome thing. We've now got over 1,500 members, and we're doing a giveaway for members of each one of our social media or newsletter giveaways. So this week, I didn't tell you guys which of the different lists I'm going to use. So I figured this week we'll start with the one that we've had the longest, which is the Twitter account. So what I've done, and I'm not going to announce who the winner is just yet. I'm going to do it a little later on the show. But you can tell I kind of got a cold. What I've done this week is I've taken our 600 and some odd members, gone through, extracted the list out, already did it on Saturday at noon, actually exactly at noon. I ended up going through, creating a little JavaScript and posting that. So I'll be announcing the winner a little later on in the show, as well as announcing what next week's prize will be. So that's in here. A bunch of things coming down for May, a ton of different events. April was a busy month. May is looking to be as busy, if not busier, especially leaning in towards the later end of this month. A bunch of things to talk about there. The last thing I want to talk about this week as well is bringing up back again Device Lab. So yes, I'm putting down Device Lab TO. Yes, I've reached out. In fact, I've actually spoke with a bunch of the developer community leads today, as well as a bunch last week. Everybody's really interested in this. Everybody's really blasting this out. And what we're going to be doing over the course of the next week or two is really broadcasting this out. I can't reiterate enough how much I need you. Those people on the stream, those people watching this afterwards on YouTube, through the site, whatever it is, I need you to broadcast out, share with your friends, tell them to send it, tell them to share, hashtag DeviceLabTO everywhere you can think of. This means Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, all the different social platforms. Because what I need to do is I need to collect all of that to make sure that people who are going to be sponsoring this and supporting this and providing space and devices know that there's a Toronto developer community or developer community in Canada, because this will be the first open device lab in Canada. They will be interested to know what the type of response and reaction to this is and whether or not there is a community that wants this. The more people that share this, the more people that broadcast this, really hammers it down that yes, this is something that they can support and they will be valuable. It will be valuable for them to do. So I mentioned that again at the end, but I just want to bring that up. So first thing on the list today is Donate and Learn. I'm going to switch over to this camera here. Donate and Learn is put on by an organization called Green Lotus here in Toronto. So if you want to take a look, what this is essentially is a group that's put on an event in the past, hosted downtown Toronto. It was. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it at the time for that one. But what they're doing is having it so that you can go to this event for free. You can learn social media, how to use it, proper usage. I believe they have a speaker coming in from Google, as well as ABC News and how they're interacting with people and interacting with audiences, as well as they've been sponsored by GoDaddy, and a slew of different companies and organizations about how to use social media properly for this workshop. How it works is you get in free with donation. Now, you can go for free, you can be there, you don't need to donate, but it's strongly recommended that you donate because all donations, 100% of the proceeds go towards the YWCA, which is, oh my God, it's going to be horrible if I can't remember this right. It's a women's center, right? So it's the YWCA Toronto. All proceeds go to. The sponsorships go towards venue, food, beverages, workshop, flying people in from like ABC and whatnot to make sure that they're here for the people that are there. But why I'm broadcasting this out to you guys, I know you guys know social media. That's probably not the best workshop for you. But I bet you guys know, I'm going to turn that microphone down because that should not have had feedback. And if it did, if it's been really bad lately, sorry, that shouldn't happen now. So anyway, back to this. So essentially what this workshop is, will allow is those people who you know aren't on social media yet, or that are like, oh my God, social media platforms like Twitter, I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, this will be a really good opportunity for you to say, hey, look, let me donate $5 or $10 to this really good charity, and then you can go to this and learn how to use social media properly from pros and networking and socializing with these people that have been doing it for a while, right? So I'm going to suggest go take a look. The website's right here, as well as I'll have a link down below of where you can go. This will allow you to donate, get donations to tickets, as well as interact on whether or not you want to give this as a gift for somebody to have them go. Parents are a great thing, aunts and uncles, that colleague or coworker who you're always going back and forth with. Really good opportunity for you to do this. I believe it's at the end of this month. May 28th, actually, is the date for this. So I do highly recommend going to take a look at that. So I just want to bring that up. Another thing on the list is actually, I have to go back to my thing here. So May events. There is a bunch of things that are happening in May. As you guys know, April was a very busy month. There was a ton of things. The NASA event, we had FITC, the accessibility group was doing a massive thing with the government of Canada, tons of different things that are happening in Toronto in April. Well, it turns out Toronto is also having the same thing happen in May. We have a ton of different things. So I'm going to name off a couple of ones this week and then some more next week that you should probably take a look at if you're interested in development and technology and entrepreneurship. First on the list, for those of you who don't know, again, last month, we ended up doing streaming for the accessibility group in Toronto. So this month, I want to say again, I should know these things off heart, but I really don't. On the 9th, in fact, I just had a conversation with George not an hour ago. On the 9th of May, there is a Celebrating Global Accessibility Awareness Day. It's their first time that they're celebrating, the first reiterate, so this is like the second year they're doing this, celebrating this internationally. So this means that all over the world, all these different organizations that are running accessibility groups and helping accessibility guidelines and building these types of tools are getting together to do this massive, massive event to give recognition to those that are doing this. So the Accessibility Group Toronto is part of this, and we'll be running an event. You can check out the link here to see where, when, and how hard. At the moment, I believe there's 44 people attending right now, but there is 26 spots still available. Great team that's doing this. Great organization team that runs this group. Seriously, go take a look. See if it's right for you. See if it's right for somebody that you know. It is a truly amazing group, and they're running this thing on May 9th. May 9th. And there's another event that they're doing, I believe a social event, a meet and greet, networking, etc., on the 29th, which hasn't been announced yet, so you guys are actually in the know before most people. So keep that in mind and go take a look at that. Next thing, so for anybody who is working on any type of entrepreneurship or socializing or networking, the YMC Toronto does a slew of different events around the city. At the end of this month, they're having 2 new courses. Now, this is kind of a different thing. It's not really a meetup group. It's not really an event per se. What it is the course of several days and several weeks. These two that are happening at the end of this month, Social Design for App Development is actually being put on by Sachin Manga. I'm horribly pronouncing that name, I'm sure. Monga. I believe he actually works at Facebook. And what this event is it's examining the fundamentals, and I'm reading here, examining the fundamentals in social psychology that inform great social experiences. He has done this talk and has done this course, I believe, in the past, and it went over amazingly. Some of the content that apparently is in this course is flat out just like jaw-dropping amazing. I'm considering myself going to this as well, even though I run Social Media Cafe, as well as a bunch of other things. I'm involved with a lot of social stuff here in Toronto. But the stuff that's in this one apparently is just mind-blowing, and it opens up some doors for you. So go take a look at that. The second thing is Genius Lab Season 2, which, again, run by an amazing, amazing speaker, and really puts an emphasis on learning here. So go take a look. TheYMC.com has those courses available for you to take a look at. I believe it's, in some of these cases, it's a donate what you can. So it's not like a static fee, but what it is when you donate and when you put forward a little bit of money towards the course, it really goes towards making sure that you're showing up for these events and that you're completing the course as a whole, more so than they're not looking to make profit off of it. It's the small amount that you do end up putting towards it, and the fact that it's only about 50 to 20 people per course, they're not making a profit off of this. It's purely, essentially, you're going to be coming into these events. So that was the the YMCA, literally TheYMCA.com, that way. Anyway, next thing on the list, for those of you who don't know as well, which I'm sure all of you who watch this and all of you who will end up watching this eventually, Google I.O. is this month. So the YMC, and specifically B Notions, who owns and runs a lot of the YMC stuff, is running Toronto's, or one of Toronto's 3 Google I.O. extendeds. So if you want, the link is too big to put down here. However, I will be posting that in the descriptions of the YouTube video. Apparently I have a notification. So B Notions is actually putting on a Google I.O. extended for the first day, which is the 15th. And then depending upon the reactions, depending upon the audience level, they will likely be doing a secondary follow-up one for the last day as well. Kind of like a wrap-up thing. What did you learn? What didn't you learn? Interaction and learning experiences. So go take a look at that. You can either do a search right now if you're watching this, or take a look in the description in the YouTube. I will have a link out to what they're doing is a Google Plus event. So you can just say yes, no, maybe. If you haven't heard what a Google I.O. extended is, you go into an office or a location that's doing this, and they stream the live streams coming in from Google I.O., and they broadcast it on a wall so that you are essentially at this event, but not in San Francisco or spent the X amount of dollars of like massive amount of travel expenses and ticket price, as well as you don't really get a prize for signing up for it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they also have somebody flying in from Google. I think I heard that right, but don't quote me. They have somebody coming in from Google, at least I believe, for talking about some stuff. So go take a look at that. More details can be found in their event page, as well as through the Google I.O. Extended website. They are listed in that as well. So that's Google I.O. Extended. Cool. So next topic up. Oh, one last thing, I guess, for the events for Toronto. I can't believe I forgot this one. The HTML Toronto group is having, obviously, their event, or our event, I should say, on the 22nd of May. Now, for those of you who have been paying attention, this is not the third Thursday of May, which is our general thing, the third Thursday. This is the fourth Wednesday. This is because TVO, who is our speaker this month, is still working on the project, still working on a lot of the game development. But I was able to go in last week, play with the thing, test it out, try it out. I was able to speak with Leap Motion last week as well. So TVO is coming in, talking about how they've converted a Flash game for kids into an HTML game for kids, and also extended it out to use Leap Motion. So I talked about Leap Motion a little bit last week. If you want, go back, take a look at that video, as well as who they are. You can look them up online, leapmotion.com. But they will also be helping broadcast this event and share and develop and publicize the event through their developer community. So we will be live streaming this for those of you who can't make it. However, I am in the process of trying to get a venue that can accommodate for about 75 to 100 people for this event. And the reason why I'm doing this much more is because at the event, we're also going to hopefully have the capabilities of testing out the game, trying out Leap Motion, seeing your hand in using the technology, right? So I'm sure people who want to come out to this event interact with the speaker with TVO. I believe there's a few people coming in from TVO to talk about developing HTML games, using Create.js to develop with Leap Motion, as well as I'm hoping talk about some of the things you think about when developing for kids and games and experiences for different targeted age demographics, which is something that they've got to think about when they develop stuff for younger audiences. So they're going to be coming in and talking. This gives you guys the experience to interact with them and engage with them and ask them questions and find out what's good and what's bad, or essentially any of the questions that you might have for an organization like TVO. And this is actually their innovation lab. So this isn't TVO games creator and website developer. This is the lab that does all of the innovations, the iPad applications that came out for TVO. They've developed a couple of games for iOS devices and Android devices and BlackBerry. This is that group. This is the one that's basically like, hey, cool, here's a budget. Go develop some really cool things for the TVO audience. So I was able to go in last week, see some of the stuff. Really awesome group. In fact, I actually know one of the people who work there through one of the other groups that I run. So it's very interesting. I had no idea he had worked there. So that's HTML Toronto Group. So on to this week's winner. So like I said earlier on in the podcast, or early on in the video, the HTML Toronto Group has now broken 1,500 members. For those of you who have been paying attention since the start, what we're doing is we're doing a weekly giveaway for one person on each of the random lists. We have our Twitter followers, which was last week. I'm going to be giving it the name shortly. We also have our YouTube subscribers. We have newsletter subscribers as well as we have Facebook posts and likes. So if you're a fan of the Facebook page, you're also going to be on the list for one of the following weeks, either next week, this coming week, the following week, or the last week. Actually, is there 5 weeks in May? Does this mean I got to come up with another surprise? There is 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 5 weeks in May, which means there will be 5 prizes, not 4. I just remembered that. Interesting. Cool. And I think I know what I'm going to do for the 5th week, too. So anyway, back to this past week. A bit of a short week. However, we did send out the notification to the newsletter earlier on in the week, as well as the email notification. So those of you who are tuning in for that, get ready. Drum roll, please. And I'm looking to the chat window to see my drum roll. Somebody in the chat, give me a drum roll. So while I wait for that, because I think there's a bit of a delay on it. Just to give you guys a heads up, again, we did the Twitter followers for this past week, because it's the one that had the most people on it. So it's been the longest, it's been the most, it's where we're doing a lot of the sharing. So I took the Twitter list, ended up writing a little JavaScript where I scrolled all the way down on Twitter, picked up all the names in JavaScript, and ended up doing a randomized list on yesterday, on the Saturday, at noon, which is exactly when I'll do it again for the following week. As at noon next Saturday, I will be doing a draw for one of the following lists, one of the following remainder list, which is the newsletter, YouTube subscribers, and Facebook fans. So out of the Twitter followers, the person who had won was, I still don't see a drum roll. Anyway, Patrick Dunphy. So Patrick Dunphy, if you do not watch this, I will be sending you an email very, very shortly, or at least a Twitter DM. So for those of you who want to say, congratulations, Patrick Dunphy, or to say, curse you, I wanted to win. Patrick has won a Wired magazine subscription for a year. So that's Patrick Dunphy, and he's probably going to get a slew of text messages and a few of emails saying, hey, tweeting and whatnot. So send a tweet to him, say congratulations if you want, include HTML5TO or HTML5_Toronto as the hashtag or the @ as well. But I will be sending him a notification very, very shortly. He still does not know, so you guys know before he does. Next week's prize, or next week's giveaway, I should say, is a copy, not this one, a copy of this book. Now, I have no more of these left. This is my own personal copy. I am not going to give this away because I love this. Anybody who has been at my events knows that this here is probably one of the only books I actually recommend right now for learning HTML. It's not a how-to book. It's essentially like a little dictionary, as well as it shows you the formatting and proper usage. I think John Duckett's done an amazing job writing this. Sent a few back and forth emails with him, and he is like great at responding and great at engaging. So if you do follow this, take a look, see if you can connect with him, see if you can ask, maybe not ask him questions because you got about a book. But what I will be doing is the winner of next week, whatever one of the three lists will be, I will be ordering a new one of these on Amazon and having it shipped to you. That means you do not need to be in Canada or Toronto. This means that you can be anywhere else in the world so long as Amazon ships to you. But next week's winner will win a copy of this. A couple of other little things about these prizes. Just to give you guys a heads up, next week, or the following week I should say, one of the other prizes, I'm in communication and talks with Occupop right now to see about what prizes and what other things that they have that I could give away. Now, if you don't know, Occupop is the company that works with the W3C for doing the T-shirts, the stickers, the sweaters, the hoodies, all the different swag, and the branding behind HTML5 is done through Occupop. So HTML5, HTML5shirt.com is the branding stuff. Now, I've already been back and forth. The site right now has a very minimum stuff, but I've already got confirmed they're restocking, as well as they're having a few other things, and they've asked for some advice. So I've thrown in a few ideas for them, which is why I'm not doing it this week. I'm doing it next week to see if they add any of my ideas for potential things to give away. So I am in talks with them, and that will be coming in a later week once I know for a fact that they have new stock, as well as potentially what new items they have for sale. So that will be a potential one for the future. I am also taking some suggestions for later on in the month. I believe I have one other one planned, but I can't mention what it is just yet. But I believe now that we have a fifth week, that we do need one more thing. So I am taking suggestions to hear what you have in mind for a giveaway. Something preferably that's not located specifically in Toronto would be good, because we do have a national and international crowd watching, paying attention, and following, thanks to Google Plus communities. So on that note, I think that's about it. I'm going to take off Patrick Dunphy's name off of this right now. Okay. So again, the only thing I'm going to be mentioning, and the only thing I'm going to bring up again, is bringing back up the topic of Device Lab TO. I do need your help with that. I've broadcast this out. Other groups are already going to be discussing this and hoping to interact with this. But I need you guys to go out there and say, we want the Device Lab TO, right? Toronto developer community and Canadian developer community needs a Device Lab. This means that organizations can go in and test their applications and test their websites for free. There will be other little things for doing payments. There will be other little things that will allow us to make money. As a just random thing, again, not set in stone. If you have a site that you want to test in private, in a private room or an office for several hours, you can rent the room for several times, and the device will be wiped, so there's no history and there's no nothing. It gives a bit of privacy for agencies, I guess that is. Things like notepad, papers, and stuff to build apps and tools and technology, that can be also for sale. That's another way that we can make money. But to test a device or to test a website for any type of developer, for a web developer, for a game developer, for an application developer, should be able to go in here and test it for free. And I was talking to a few people today about it, and it's not just mobile phones and tablets. We're also thinking of doing accessibility devices, television screens, aspect ratios, even potentially things like makey-makeys, Google Glass, we can get our hands on a few of those. Any of those devices that are for developers to use and interact and engage and build things on, we want to bring in, and that's the type of thing. And this is why it's not mobile device lab. It's not mobile lab, it's device lab, right? Any type of technology you can develop for, that's what we want to bring in. So help us get that. Anyway, thanks. And that's been 25 minutes. So tweet it out, follow us, do all this stuff. And remember, newsletter, YouTube, and Facebook fan are the 3 lists left for, actually, I got to figure out a 4th one as well. So possibly the Google, actually, yeah, there you go, the Google Plus. If you're a member of the Google Plus community that we have as well, that'll be the 5th one. Cool. Have a great night, guys.